Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. And as you can tell from the audio clip, that Kevin Durant doesn't believe he deserves a statue in Golden State, which sounds kind of absurd. But if you know or have followed Kevin Durant over the last, 10, 15 years, this is just his personality. He's very humble. He's not braggadocious. He's not any of those things. He's very mellow. He doesn't give the media a lot to go off of. He's just very reserved and very, I don't want to say PC. I think he's just reserved. I think he thinks a lot of things, but doesn't say it because that's just not his personality. He's just very humbled with it. But Paul Pierce definitely believes that Kevin Durant deserves a statue in Golden State. And I second that because of his accomplishments and because what he meant to that franchise at a time where their franchise seemed to be on the downside after losing 3-1 to Golden State. I mean, losing to Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James. That was a tough summer for them just to go through that because you pretty much had it in the bag and you were the first team to ever lose like that in a championship game in the championship series in NBA. So it was definitely knocked you down momentum wise, and it's definitely a heartbreaker. So it's definitely one of those things that's difficult to recover from. Similar to what the Buffalo Bills did, going to all those Super Bowls back to back and losing, not winning one is very tough to do. Now, most people will say, it's difficult to get to the Super Bowl, so at least you got there. But sometimes you don't want to get all the way to the altar and then somebody tell you, nah, I changed my mind. We did all this stuff and we got there and then eventually, you changed your mind. That hurts more than you telling me, months down the road before you spend all this money and have to do all these trips. Um, but it's just a tough pill to swallow and definitely was something tough for Golden State to go through. But Kevin Durant was able to help them out and alleviate that stress because he made them unguardable. He made them unbeatable almost. Them winning 73 games, going 73-9 uh, the previous season before Kevin Durant got there. But you're going 73-9, and then you wasted all away by losing a 3-1 lead to go to Cleveland Cavaliers, which is very tough for anybody to do. We don't even have a precedent for it. So Kevin Durant alleviated all of those problems and all those doubts, gave him a new breath air, gave him new life. He did all those things, and he was able to get them two championship rings with three appearances. In that third appearance, they lost to Toronto Raptors, but if Kevin Durant doesn't tear his Achilles, we know they're winning that series. And he was doing pretty good before he tore his Achilles, and it was just sad to see him go down. And he was, the franchise was never the same. They ended up winning another championship after Kevin Durant left, but now it's very on the downside. So this is, I think, it's very apropos for Kevin Durant to get a statue in Golden State eventually, but they shouldn't definitely do it before they put Steph one up there, and then Clay should definitely have one as well. They should put damn near the whole team on there. Even Draymond should be in there. So they should have definitely four statues in front of that building for what they did because we probably won't see that again. Oklahoma City Thunder is still on a nice roll, but I don't know if they'll be able to keep those pieces together. Um, it's a very low ego team and not a lot of superstars, so it can probably last longer than what Golden State did. But that's just a tall ask, for people to do, especially in this Western Conference. So competitive. You have LeBron James on his way out, but you have a lot more talent behind him coming in, especially in the college ranks. So it's going to get very difficult, but you won't see a team like Golden State again, especially not the team with Kevin Durant that they had. They were pretty much unstoppable. You had three phenomenal 3-point shooters and scorers. And then on top of that, you had defense and you had depth off the bench. It's very difficult to find that nowadays because everybody wants to get paid for one. And then two, there's a lot of ego in the NBA. And I think Golden State got the right pieces with the right amount of ego to make it last that long. So it's definitely needed that he gets that statue because um, he made the persona of Golden State even more unfathomable. Because a lot of people like Golden State at first because the ball movement that they had, pause, and what they were able to do as far as shooters, and it was such a finesse game. It didn't look ugly like the '90s when people backing people down and dunking over people, and it looked like football. It was poetry in motion, and you had Kevin Durant coming off the screens or getting solos, ISO looks, and things like that. And then you had Steph Curry shooting all over the place, pause, and then you had Clay who can get streaky, who can put up 60 points and um, what was it, 60 points in like 3 quarters or something crazy he did. So, you had that amount of talent around, but you won't ever see that again. And the league hated Golden State for it because not only were you a 73-9 team before, but then you add Kevin Durant, who's arguably one of the top 5 greatest, top 10 greatest players of all time to that mix. And in addition to Steph, who's one of the top 10 players of all time, and you create this, Thanos essentially with the rings, and they were unable to be, they were definitely difficult to stop. But it was beautiful basketball. Like I said, you won't see that style of play again either because it was just so smooth. But tell me what your thoughts about Kevin Durant, having a statue in Golden State and if it is well deserved. And until next time, I'll see you next time.